checking in those bags, shopping when we land. Big FN bag of ball. Plead the fifth if I get caught, they talk. Came through dripping on them, I been saucing.
Yo, what is going on, y'all? J-Trades here, back in another brand new video. And in today's video, I will be doing a live trading recap of the trade that I took today on the S&P with the team, Essential Traders University. All information to join the group will be down below in the description at essentialtradersuniversity.com. We have the premium Discord group chat where I do give out all my signals as well as my course that I released a few days ago. So for those that are interested in those two things, definitely make sure to check it out. Again, the link is down below in the description. And without further ado, let's jump straight into this recap. So today, I literally called out a 212% win trade, W trade, the only signal I gave out today, and it was a great trade. And that signal came from many multiple sources of confluences. But let me just first get straight into this trade first of all. So every day, you guys know I like to start off on the higher time frame, right? On the higher time frame, we are very, very bullish. And because we broke through this major level or area of very strong resistance, we need a very strong push up to break through this level of strong resistance. And in order for that to happen, we need to push up over that level. And what happens is when we have a very strong push like that, we tend to often have a gap that is made. This is called a fair value gap. So this gap right here was essentially made on the 1 hour, every single time frame basically, but I typically like using the 5 minute for my gaps, as I found that the 5 minute was the most effective and most accurate time frame for finding these gaps are high quality. So this is a very high quality setup that I found today. I was looking essentially for the market to continue its bullish pattern, and then once we finish bullish, I would like to play a reversal inside the supply zone that I marked out on a daily time frame down to the gap and potentially fill the gap. Now again, as we have known, and this is what I teach in my course as well as the Discord, that these gaps do not always get filled, right? There's two outcomes of a gap. It either gets filled or it gets fully rejected. And in this case today, it got fully rejected. So that is what we based our trade on. So my first and final take profit would be around this gap area. And if I see some rejections going on around the gap, I would take all my profits there. Usually when we go near a gap, if we actually want to fill the gap, we will fill it quite quickly because gaps are efficient areas of the market, which is something that I teach very in depth in my Essential Traders University day trading course. So basically for this trade, I was looking for key levels and signs of reversal. So I was waiting for price to form this kind of uptrend, right? And basically I had this actually trend line here, right here. As you guys can see, I'm showing you guys also a lot more details on how to draw these trend lines properly within the course, so you guys are not using false trend lines. But that is a great trend line right there, starting from this point right here, if I can move it up a bit more. So that was the uptrend holding us support. And once we break this uptrend, typically what happens is we go in the opposite direction. Now this is not always the case. There's tons of other confluences like I mentioned for this to occur. There's multiple confluences today. First off, we are very, very fully extended, and we already did the finishing gap and go move, right? We also have a gap to the downside. That gives me high confidence that price is gonna lean and go towards this gap at some point in the day. We don't know at what point in the day, but at some point in the day, this price action is gonna go towards the gap. So I was loading up on puts and waiting for this trend to break. Now a perfect entry will be on the 1 minute. And once we go on the 1 minute, a perfect entry will be right here. This probably would have been a 380% gain if you played it over here on this entry, but I believe I did alert the play around 11:35, 34-ish. So around this area is when I entered my trade. Okay, and this is when I also signaled. You could have entered earlier, but because we do have to take notice that we are extremely bullish and we don't want to be going against the higher time frame, I need more confirmations that this trend is gonna continue down in reverse. So you can see we have lows here that are being made, and you can even get on the trade off this break of structure right here, right? We broke another strong low right here, actually twice. We had a low here, we had a low here that rejected this low. So that's why the price basically pushed up there. But once we broke past this low, we can actually get confirmation that we are gonna have a very strong fast push down. So we literally entered this trade here. So if I put a candle right there, we entered the trade right there, and my stops will literally be above that low roughly. So we're above that candle right there. And then we are targeting this gap right here. Whether we fill it or not does not matter, right? We just know it is an efficient area of the market. and that is a 1 to 5, almost 1 to 6 risk reward trade. Basically risking 20%, I believe, if I'm doing the math correctly. No, I think it's 10% for a 220% gainer. Insane trade today. And you know, I've still been trying to fix the phone issue and stuff with the second monitor, so that's the reason why I haven't been able to do these live recordings daily or live trades with my P&L and such like that. But again, I'm currently working on fixing that and hopefully being able to deliver that content to you guys in the future. But nonetheless, again, that's just a quick trading recap of what the trade was today. Extremely high quality setup today. This is one of my favorite setups where we have a gap and go and then we try to fill that imbalance. That's like one of the top A+ setups that I have in my tool bag. Again, I have multiple different setups that I typically look at, and these setups I will go very in depth into every single confluence and step I look at before I enter an A+ setup, and what an A+ setup is for me that hits a really high win rate and high risk reward trade in my Essentials University day trading course. So again, for those interested in joining the course, make sure to check it out, link in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.